Hello, Luke Bouchard here. This is today's Forgiveness Declaration card draw and reduction reading. Number 35. I forgive myself for believing that I know what my problems are. Okay, and now the reduction. Is the belief that we know or understand the nature of our problems that is the real problem in our lives. All of our problems derive from our perceived separation from God. And the only solution to our problems is to hand them over to the Holy Spirit and ask to see them differently. Herein lies the peace of God. And the Course in Miracles quote I chose for this is, problems are not specific, but they take on specific forms. And these specific shapes make up the world. And no one understands the nature of his problem. If he did, it would be there no more for him to see. Okay. So clearly the main thrust of this declaration and the reduction is that we don't know what our problems are. And that if we truly understood our only problem is our separation from God and the fact that we believe we're doing it alone, then our world would look very different. Because we're separated from God, what we end up doing is we look around us, we look into the battleground, and we see all the problems that we have, and we think that we have to fix them or solve them. And if we were actually not trying to do it by ourselves, not trying to conquer the world and go out and kill our gazelle every week or whatever we have to do to try and sustain ourselves, believing that we're on our own, if we weren't doing that, then we would have a very different experience because we'd be connected and when we feel so solitary. And so I think there's a direct correlation between our problems and how isolated we feel from God, which we're really not, but we think we are. Okay, this image. I saw this sign in the country on the outside of a door of a driveway to someone's house, and it was like no perpetual traffic. And where I have written 35, I forgive myself for believing that I know what my problems are. That wasn't there. That was obviously just blank. And it's just like no perpetual traffic. I didn't. It took me a while to figure out that perpetual energy. It's like that's the name of the company. And I didn't quite notice that, but it's like, what does that mean? No perpetual traffic. What's the opposite of no perpetual traffic? Perpetual traffic, and it was kind of curious because it's like I have no idea what that means, and that's why this image worked so well for this declaration is because we don't know what our problems are. We see stuff when we think we do, and then we think what we have to do to fix them. But if we're doing that on our own and without connected to God, then we're just going to create more problems. Or those problems will take on a different form than a very specific form, different than what we have. But it still goes back to the fact that we believe we're separated from God and that we're down here in the battleground on our own. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'm Luke Bouchard, and if you are plagued by problems, you might want to decide to take that off your shoulders and hand it over to the Holy Spirit. It's a choice. And it really is about us not going alone.